Welcome to the Close the Deal Show. I'm your host, Terrence McCray. Every week we bring you business information and insights from entrepreneurs, business professionals, and inspired individuals from the San Francisco Bay Area and beyond. The Close the Deal Show also features public announcements, Entrepreneur Week, and small business owners. And if you're looking for strategies to help you in business or educate the public, then you're in the right place. Thanks for joining us today. Today we're going to have a full panel, and we're going to talk about particularly commercial real estate advisor strategies. But before I introduce my guests, I would like to share with you all my not only personal opinion, but my statistics of how this information was brought to my attention. And 63% of real estate agents are females, something I didn't know, but I found out, which are only 2/3 of all agents. 9% are Hispanic and only 5% are Black African Americans. My guest today was asked to come on the Close the Deal show as an expert in her field. By her request, she asked that her appearance be redirected in educating the public, specifically minorities, on how to start a rewarding career in real estate. And Divine has grown up with a passion for commercial real estate. She has a degree in business from Walsh University and brings a passion for helping others. But she also has brought not only her colleague, but her principal, Mr. and I say this, Mr. Halpren. And I also have a guest by me, as you all see, Mrs. Shawn Williams. She not only will be sitting in, but she also will be asking questions. Please join us today on the Close the Deal show. Welcome. Pleasure in having you.
Welcome, Michael.
Thank you.
Divine.
Absolutely. My question, Divine, let's start about how you get started in real estate.
Well, I had the wonderful opportunity to meet Michael Halpren, and I wanted to interview as his assistant, and he took the time to show me San Francisco Bay Area and the building structures and the built to fit, how the commercial industry fits into the way the world works in the industry. I became very passionate about it, worked as his assistant, and decided to go ahead and further my education, get my real estate license, and here I am.
All right.
So, Michael, how did you get into real estate?
Well, many years ago, I was looking for a way to be an entrepreneur, be able to spend time with family, and have a flexible schedule. And back in the 90s, it was a little bit more difficult time to do so. Things like the internet really didn't exist as it does today. I always have had a passion for the built environment and how people interact with that environment. As a history major in college, and as a result, have always loved how things grow, how societies change, like our beautiful city and our Bay Area. So after spending time in places like law school and business school, I decided to go ahead and make the leap into what my true passion was, which was real estate. Now, unlike selling houses, I chose to do commercial real estate, which is dealing with businesses and investors and buildings themselves. And of course, San Francisco in the 90s, in the 2000s, and today has had fantastic change. After the '89 earthquake, there was lots of opportunities. So I just delved right in and worked with tech companies and worked with building owners, and now lots of investors. And that's been the progress of my career. So I've worked with people that wanted to open a store or a restaurant or a bar. I've had people that wanted to buy a little building, and I've worked with large corporations as well.
So, okay, my question to both of you all is, what kind of specific education and training does one need to be successful in this role?
Tenacity. That's the main thing that you need in this industry. You have to be able to take no for an answer. And more importantly, get past that no to a yes. You have to learn how to compromise. And most importantly, you have to work with people and realize that we're all exactly the same. We all have the same goals. And it's how to communicate with people that Because most people, when they're in negotiations, they're going to try to compartmentalize things into little teeny boxes. And it's being able to unlock those little boxes to get the final result, which is a closed deal,
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
right? And once you learn what the environment is, that basically the entire world is the commercial real estate marketplace. And if you can bring that down to a place like San Francisco and then farther down to a place like Potrero Hill, Mission District, which is where we are right now, then you can start to see what are the changes here. And that brings success. If you don't have passion for that, though, and a lot of people don't, a lot of people need to have that 9 to 5, need to have that paycheck. If that's what you need to do, and that's fine, commercial real estate probably is not the right career for you. Property management, perhaps, because that's 9 to 5 or 24/7 in general. But at the same time, it's having that entrepreneurial attitude that you can go out and you can make something happen for yourself.
And of course, you need a California real estate license, and that is taking several classes, and then absolutely, in the end, a really intense test that you have to pass in order to become a licensed realtor, licensed agent. And then also there's a continuing education. You must always continue reading the latest articles about the real estate trends of the different industries, and reading books like The Art of Negotiation. I'm taking
I read that book,
yes,
actually.
it's a wonderful,
It's wonderful,
book,
yes.
right? And so it's just always being abreast of the latest trends and keeping yourself filled with more knowledge and information, because the more knowledge you have, the more valuable you are as an
Absolutely. How long does the entire process take?
agent. To become a licensed
Yes.
agent, it can be anywhere from 6 months to a year.
Okay. Wonderful.
Some people like to take their time or say it. Like I said, it's very intense. There's a lot of reading, lots of laws and regulations to know.
Okay.
So it depends. Everyone's different.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So, Divine,
Nice.
what challenges have you encountered being an African American in this field?
Well, there's not that many of us, that's for sure. And I feel that being an African American woman, people may not be aware that you have knowledge of the industry or that you are passionate about the industry. And my challenge would be to encourage other women of color, African American women, to take an opportunity to get to know the industry and see if it's something that they would like to be a part of. Because there is a lot of opportunity for us. And as African American women, we can do anything.
Absolutely.
We can do anything. And when we come to the table, we are the table.
Absolutely.
Right, yeah.
That's true.
Absolutely.
So, Michael, what challenges have you faced since you've been in the industry?
Challenges really have been differentiating between residential real estate, people are called realtors, and commercial advisors, which is what we are. It's a big difference. I've never sold a house in my life, as an example.
Okay.
But my family still asks me about selling houses, right? It's not something I've ever wanted to do. So really the challenge is, first, as she said, get the education. That part, if you have half a mind, you can get it done. Hardest part, though, is every single day getting out of that bed, going out on that street, and as I said before, hearing the word no to your face, and realize that not everyone's going to work with you. That's what I've told her many times, is that there is an audience for who she is and what she represents. That audience isn't my audience necessarily, and you have to be okay with that.
That's why it's a really wonderful opportunity to be on this show, because many people don't realize exactly what commercial real estate advisors do. There really haven't been a plethora of books written, whereas residential real estate, you can go online. There are many mom and pop books out there, e-guides, how to do it. But commercial real estate advising really is a hands-on industry where it's sort of like Pandora's box. You have to be able to even get in front of it to get it open. But once you do, you find out this industry is richly filled. So that's just
Many
it's
rewards.
it's a great
That's great.
opportunity to come in here and educate, because people need to be aware of it. People need to know. what it is.
I know today we're focusing on commercial real estate, but can you explain to the viewers the different types of real estate? I know we're just talking about commercial today,
Right.
but can you make it very clear for those that don't know anything about the real estate industry at all?
Well, sure. So you have the houses over here,
Mhm.
and then within commercial, there are people that are specialize in things like retail, and that's all they do. There are people that specialize in office, and that's a specialty as well. So it's segmenting and what you want to specialize in. We're a small shop. So in our small shop, we do a lot of every little thing. We do retail, we do offices and so forth.
What's the name of your shop?
The Hawthorne Group, THG Commercial,
Okay. Okay. And how long have you been in business?
since 2004.
Oh, you've been in business quite some time then.
Right. I used to work for a larger company.
Okay.
And three of my partners at that time, we all worked together, and we decided, why are we giving that guy over there 40% of our money when we're doing exactly the same thing? We're doing all this work. Why don't we just do this for ourselves?
So that was a good strategy.
It was a good strategy, but very, very hard. Because
Okay.
as you can see, and you can just see it when you drive around anywhere, there's the JLLs of the world.
Correct.
Right? These big corporations, and they're international. So how can somebody find business as an individual? What I found is there's always business. And there's a lot of folks that want to push us out completely. There will be no more agents. And you can kind of hear about blockchains that are interested in getting rid of the middleman, if you will. So how do you stay relevant? By providing service to your clients. And there's always going to be business for the middleman because there's always somebody that just doesn't understand the internet. They want to have somebody that's personable, that they can look at, they can shake their hands. And maybe if they have this little storefront that their grandfather gave them or what have you, they want to get rid of that building and sell it, but they want to do it with somebody they trust.
Absolutely.
We come in.
What are
Okay.
some of the business or the marketing strategies that you used in order to stay competitive with your?
Well, definitely
Okay.
social media. We use a
Okay.
lot of social media, LinkedIn. Michael does consulting as well, so he has a plethora of knowledge for that. And we've got our website, THG Commercial, which you
Okay.
can go and see some of the properties that we have available, as well as find out a little bit more about the Hawthorne Group, THG Commercial. And we use marketing flyers, but mainly we're using word of mouth. Michael is a big believer, as he calls mining, getting out on the street, walking from one side of San Francisco to
Wow.
the other, talking to business owners, property owners, and finding out what their needs are.
Wow.
What they have an idea, what are some of their dreams and goals, and how we can help facilitate that. Because we're actually community builders, actually, as well.
Wonderful.
So, Divine, as a professional already in this field, what entry strategies can you offer African American women pursuing this field?
First of all, call me, so we can talk.
Okay.
Everyone needs to get their California real estate license if they want to be a part of this business. But my strategy for them would be to be open, to gain as much knowledge as they can, and to come with an attitude of perseverance and not being afraid of rejection. And that's one of the reasons why I think black women, African American women would do so well in this industry, because sometimes it seems to me that African American women are some of the underappreciated women on this planet.
Absolutely.
So we have a lot to offer in the way of perseverance, strength. Community building. We've been doing it for generations.
Absolutely.
And we just have a knack for making things happen. And we are forthright. So I think that African American women would be just a great addition to the industry. Yeah.
So, Michael, what's next for you in your company?
I'm just continuing doing what we're doing. We're starting to do a lot more consulting work than we've done in the past with large developers. There's a lot of money coming into San Francisco, so certainly having local knowledge is what is key to real estate. So for us, it's just chasing deals as they come and going after ones that don't even exist. One thing I've always had specialty at is sourcing deals and trying to put one and two together to create value. And if you have a knack for doing that, you can be very successful in this industry. If you're driving down the road and you see some burned out warehouse, find out about it. There might be an opportunity right there. You don't know. And going into the future, how many more years I have left, I don't know. Hopefully a lot. Just continue doing what this is.
So, Michael, being the fact that when you say closing deals, how difficult at times could it be to find a deal?
Oh, it's extremely easy to find deals. Closing the deals can be extremely hard. I've had escrows that have gone on for a year.
Wow.
Yes. Disposing of properties, if you're selling something, certain size, or maybe not a certain size, depending on the person, and they want to exchange that money, tax-deferred 1031 exchange is what that's referred to another property, they might have an emotional attachment to a certain place, and taking that money and putting it someplace else, maybe they want it right next door. Well, finding that deal might take forever and a day.
So that process alone, what are some techniques that you have to develop to understand it in order to close that deal?
You have to have a certain feeling about yourself that what you're telling somebody is the way it should be. You can't be wishy-washy in this business. You have to provide the advice that you know to be correct. People make mistakes, we certainly know that, but at the same time, you don't want to be the person making that mistake. And you want to advise the folks that you're working with that they are not making mistakes. A lot of people need hand-holding in this world, no matter who they are.
Absolutely.
And that's where we come in, to hold hands.
So you've learned how to nurture people's emotions to the point where they feel more confident to do business with you rather than your competitor?
I wouldn't necessarily say that, but what I would say is that I have, with the folks that are in my circle, I have done that, where they do feel comfortable with the advice that I give them. There's so many folks that do this business. People are going to find the person that they feel comfortable with. That's the audience.
Yes.
That's where someone like Divine comes in. Or other folks are looking at this industry as something. Everyone has their own audience, and not everyone's going to feel comfortable with everybody. So for me, I found folks that work well with me. And thankfully, I have a very diverse clientele. Not true of a lot of my competitors.
So, Michael, how could not only other companies, because I have a lot of VCs follow me and communicate with me, how could someone looking or start up business, looking for office space, get in contact with you or Divine?
Oh, certainly they can call us at our numbers. We're right there on our website. Send us an email, thgcommercial.com. As far as working with startup companies, I've been doing that for 20 years. Certainly that's the way people got started in this business then. Little teeny small companies growing into bigger companies, moving around the city. More than happy to always help companies that want to get started. I've worked with people that are 1 people. I've worked 150 to 200 people. I've watched these companies go from one side to the other side. So
Wonderful.
absolutely.
We
help, yeah.
represented the Beats by Dre company.
Okay.
Wow.
While they were incubating and deliberating and coming into the greatness they are, that was one of the buildings that we represented for THG Commercial. And it's all really about gleaning knowledge consistently, and that's one thing that Michael has that a lot of other advisors don't, because he's staying abreast on top industry trends. And in the future, possibly cryptocurrency will be the main transaction opponent that people are using, and that's something that we're staying abreast on and trying to be in the forefront of that. Even we are a smaller shop, we can be on the front runners of that information and making those transactions come to realization. Yeah.
So, Divine, what's next for you?
I'm going to continue building my empire. I'm going to continue reaching back to the community and helping women of color and men of color also. It's really exciting when you see a dream come to fruition. Not too long ago, I worked with a small company called SF Dance Gear. They're right on 9th Street. And she had worked for a great San Francisco institution, SF Dancewear, for a long time. They were in business for about 35, 40 years. And they were closing, and she wanted to open up her own. So Michael and I took that little
She did most of the
seed
work.
Right? Well, thank you, Michael. We took that seed and we buried it, we watered it, and we just watched it grow. And every time I pass down that store on 9th Street, it's just a warm feeling because it made
You
something
had
out of
something to do
nothing.
with it. Wonderful.
And that's really what this business is about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I have a question for you, too. How could you be reached where, say, for instance, someone's watching this show and said, look, I'm tired of doing the same stuff that I've been doing in sales. Where are you possibly making it available for someone to do a workshop to learn not only the techniques that have made you successful, but the strategies in which they could possibly pursue this as a career or possibly pursue it as a side hustle?
Well, working with you on the Close the Deal show and having this opportunity is a great start for us.
Okay.
You know, and for others. And so, what do you think, Michael?
Well, in this business, it really is something that's it's a full-time career. If you're in sales, and a lot of people that are in sales want to look at real estate for obvious reasons because there's money to be made there, right? So getting involved in the industry, you really have to get out there on the streets and figure things out for yourself. It's not so much something that I feel can be taught in a seminar sort of a setting. It's something that has to be taught by doing. So, like as Divine has said, getting out on those streets and finding out what's going on, meeting the people in your neighborhood, meeting all the business owners, who's on the streets, what are they doing. As she said, when I started this business, get out, walk down every single alley, knock on every single door, walk into every single building that there is, because that's what it's really all about. And, you know, if you want somebody to kind of say that to you in a seminar setting, that's one thing, but kind of grab that hand and say, let's just go out there and I'll show you what this is all about.
But during the workshop, in the seminar, but during the workshop opportunity, there is a specific formula that can be taught. As far as what Michael is saying is, how do you go and approach those business owners? What times to do it? What time of days are there to do it? How do you dress doing that? What is going to be your pitch? How do you get them to listen to you? So all of those things can be organized into a formula to share with others.
Absolutely. Well, to the both of you, I want to thank you not only for coming on the Close the Deal show, but for educating the people and understanding what commercial real estate advisor is about, for one. Two, for also indicating what it took for you to go through the process of learning how to be a good agent and learning how to close the right deal, okay? And I would like to possibly, in the future, not only bring you back, but I would like to go on location for the viewers to see the type of buildings that you have on display. Do you think that's possible?
Oh, absolutely. We have our office is at 577 2nd Street.
Okay.
Just at Brandon, kind of where the ballpark is.
Absolutely.
So I would say we have a space available now in that building. It's about 4,000 square feet. Used to be a post-production space, newly remodeled. Happy to meet you over there while it's still vacant. Might not be, but right now it is today. And then hopefully, it most likely will be for the next 2 or 3 weeks. But absolutely, that'd be fine. And that's just one example. I have a building over on Sacramento Street, 650 Sacramento. It's gutted, brick and timber, beautiful little building. I'm happy to meet you over there too. We have that building for sale currently, or we could do a master lease and a full renovation for a tenant.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you both for coming.
Before we close this deal, we would love to hear from you. And just keep in mind what Michael had just brought to your attention. Be looking for the Close the Deal show and finding out more about these commercial buildings. If you have any suggestions, questions, or even want to apply to be a guest, visit us at www.theclosethedealshow.com. San Francisco Bay Area viewers, you can find us every Monday night at 8:30 p.m. on Channel 29 on cable Comcast, or online, BAVC, anywhere in the world, Channel 29. Live shows every Wednesday on the 2nd and 4th of the month at 6 p.m. Worldwide, you can watch us on the YouTube channel. You could just click my name, Terrence McCray, as well as my picture. Please subscribe and comment on your favorite episodes. Take good care, everyone, but also remember, in order to make a good connection, you want to be able to close the right deal. Have a great day.